conservative new media viewers, LA Lakers fans around the world, and Jeremy Lin fans around the world. What is up? It's me, PFE, Paul Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss the Lakers' difficult 93-92 last-second loss to the Sacramento Kings tonight in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was the final preseason game for the Lakers in 2014. And they conclude the preseason with a 3-5 record. I will have a couple more personal remarks to say towards the end of this video, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in that. Let me just quickly thank Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at right here. Let me also thank our friend who helps us with the Chinese translations of these videos. If you are not aware of those, if you are a person who speaks the Chinese language, Mandarin, then we ask you look for the translations of the videos when the person is able to do them for us. I don't know, maybe 12 hours or something after the videos go up, or before sometimes. It just depends on what that person's schedule is and what my schedule is. We'll get them up and we put them in the video description. We put them in the comment section as quickly as we can, both simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. We really appreciate that person's help, and it helps us to be able to reach out to more of Jeremy's fans all over the world, many of whom speak English as a second language and many of whom's primary language is Chinese. This was a tough loss. Many of us were on Twitter talking about this game. We all wanted to see Jeremy win. Sacramento went on a 17-3 run to end the game. The Lakers just kind of ran out of gas. They were outmanned. They were missing a number of different guys in this game, and it showed up at the end. And that happens. And remember, this game doesn't count for anything, although it would have been great had they been able to get the victory. The crowd was into the game. It was an exciting game, just as the game was against the Phoenix Suns, which the Lakers also had a buzzer beater at the end of regulation, as they did here with Isaiah Thomas on that night, and tonight was Ray McCallum. But I love the way the team played tonight. I'm not even worried about the loss at all. The team played hard. They played with heart. And Coach Scott's plan, his master plan to implement team unity and team discipline and team accountability, it's working. This is the fourth straight game, including the second half of the second Utah game, in which the team has played with a lot of grit, a lot of heart, and they're giving themselves a chance to win these games. Now, the Kings aren't a great team, but they're not a terrible team, and they played pretty much all of their main lineup. The Lakers were without multiple players. I think multiple starters. Yeah, that's true. They just kind of threw guys out there, and they still should have won this game, which is a really, really good sign. When the Lakers, the second, third, and fourth preseason games, the Lakers looked like an embarrassment. They looked like a disgrace. And people were writing they're the worst team in the league, this type of thing. Now they look like they can hang. They can win these games. They could have beaten Phoenix. They could have beaten Sacramento tonight. They're in these games. And this is really good to see. If Kobe's legs hold up and his health holds up, it's a shame what happened with Steve Nash. That's definitely going to hurt. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a while. But this team is coming together. It was mentioned during the broadcast on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet that the locker room chemistry of this team is great. And I believe that. You can see this group likes each other. They're pulling for each other. They've got each other's back, and it's showing up on the court. So this game means nothing. Nobody cares what anybody did in the preseason. I think these tough losses are going to help the team later on. You learn more from a loss than you do in a win. So good in that respect. We're not looking for losses, but we'd rather have them in the preseason than in the regular season. J-Lin played terrific in this game. He was probably the best Lakers player tonight, along with Ed Davis and Julius Randle. He attacked. He was running the show. He was getting everybody involved. He was keeping the defense off balance. There was a stretch of this game where it was basically J-Lin versus DeMarcus Cousins of the Kings, who himself had an excellent game. Everything I said after the Portland game, I said I wanted Jeremy to show more confidence, go after guys more. He did in this game. Sure, there's a moment or two where he could do it a little bit more, but he was on it tonight. He had one move in the fourth quarter where he dribbled down the left-hand side of the lane with his left hand. He did a step back, like a hesitation move, kind of froze the defender, and he went right back in down the left-hand side for a lefty layup. That was an outstanding move. He has really worked on his one-on-one offense, and you can see it. We saw it in the Portland game when he did that step-back crossover against Damian Lillard. He's improving, and as James Worthy has said, and I completely agree with, Jeremy is not a finished product yet. He still can improve. That's what's so great about him. He is improving. He's got a long ways to improve, to be quite honest with you, which is good, not bad. But what you saw tonight, and I put this out on Twitter, if you're a Lakers fan and you're worried this guy sucks or he's sorry or all this other nonsense that I see out on the Twitter, this guy can dominate a game. And this is what Linsanity looks like when it's rolling. And we've already seen it this preseason. What we saw it in the Portland game, I think it was, or the Phoenix game, one of those two. And he's capable of doing this fairly consistently. There was this myth perpetrated by many in the media and the organization, in my opinion, where he last was, that he was some kind of a fraud or Linsanity was just a one-time thing. No, it wasn't. He can do this again and again if you let him do it, if you give him the chance to do it. And that's what he showed tonight, and that's what he showed in, I can't remember right now. I think it was the Portland game. He can do this. He can score like crazy. Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors last year, I believe, said that J-Lin was a quote-unquote alpha scorer, top-level scorer. But he's not just a scorer, he's a top-level distributor. The lob passes to Ed Davis, the look-ahead passes to Jordan Clarkson for uncontested dunks. Everything that you saw in New York, he can still do, except for one thing. He can do it better now than he did in New York because he's a better player now. Jeremy is a gamer. What that means is he is a guy that shows up in the clutch. He shows up on game day. He shows up when it means something. He can do that, and that's what he did, and that's what you saw tonight. That's why a lot of his fans are disappointed that the team lost, because now the story changes because they didn't win. If the story was they won, then Jeremy's a Linsanity hero. But because they didn't win, it's, well, he missed a free throw, and the team didn't win, etc. I loved the way he played. I wouldn't have changed hardly anything about how he played. Just stay aggressive on defense. And Jeremy he had to play a lot of minutes tonight because Ronnie Price got hurt early in this game, unfortunately. If you put him in And I can think about this, and I've played, I don't even know how many pickup games in my life. Sometimes you will get a team that comes onto the court, and they don't look like anything. And you're on a team, and you're better. You got great athletes. You're good. You're great. You think this other team, we're going to beat them, no problem. You can't put them away. They just hang around, and they end up beating you. And you're like, well, what happened? That's what Jeremy's like. And it's not an accident. It's not an accident. When he went out of this game in the first half, late in the first half, or midway through the second, the Lakers were up by, I don't know, 5 or 6 points, or 2 or 3. Then they went down 5 or 6 real quick. Then he came back to start the second half, and they were up by 10 or 11 very, very quickly. It's not an accident. It's not an accident. Although I think his plus-minus was a +0 for tonight. They got tired later in the game. They just did not have enough depth tonight to do what they needed to do. So if you're on the fence about Jeremy, if you're a doubter, or you just want to hate on him, don't. This guy is going to help this team tremendously this year. Probably off the top of my head, there's going to be like 4 or 5 very key guys on this team this year, based upon what I've seen so far and based upon the past. And that's Kobe, Jeremy Lin, Julius Randle, Ed Davis, and Nick Young, and maybe Jordan Clarkson, depending on how he comes around. There are guys that can get a lot done on this team, and Jeremy's right near the top of the list. And I love what he showed tonight on both ends. He played tough. He didn't foul out. He had 5 fouls, but he stayed with it. He made some excellent defensive plays. He had a play, was it the second or third quarter? DeMarcus Cousins was starting to go off against, I think he was going against Robert Sacre. And Jeremy knew it. So Jeremy left his man. He saw DeMarcus going into a move. He went and he bothered DeMarcus on the shot. DeMarcus basically put up like an air ball or a brick off the backboard that didn't hit the rim. Jeremy grabbed the rebound, went down to the other end, and hit Robert Sacre for a short jumper while DeMarcus Cousins was on the other end looking for a foul. Bang, bang. Sacramento timeout. That's what he does. That's who he is. It's not a fluke. It's not an aberration. He's not hanging on to stay in the league. He's good. So pay attention, because you're going to see more of this. Particularly, the Lakers let him do it, and they will let him do it because I think they're starting to get the picture now too. On that note, Coach Byron Scott has decisions to make now. Hopefully Ronnie Price's knee injury isn't bad. Please don't let it be bad. The Lakers have enough injury problems the last several years. If Ronnie Price is healthy and he comes back, Coach is going to have to think about it. We've discussed the concept of Jeremy coming off the bench because the second unit might need him. As Eric Pincus said, they might need his scoring. They might need his playmaking. I understand that. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think Byron Scott's going to have to take a good look at this game and how it went and think about it. Though, to be fair, you do need a good second unit. I'm not saying that I would personally like to see Jeremy not start, because I would like to see him start. But to win games, both of your units need to be good. So you can't have a great first unit and your second unit sucks, because then you won't win. So we'll see what happens, but I think this game's going to make Byron Scott think a little bit more about that starting situation, in my opinion. And also, let me say this clearly, and I mean no disrespect to Ronnie Price here. Jeremy Lin's better than Ronnie Price. Not only is he better than him, he's considerably better than him in terms of just all around as a player. We've had this discussion, Lin fans, about Jeremy Lin and Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is much better than Ronnie Price is, based upon their statistical history. Look, if Ronnie Price just breaks all his averages and goes through the roof this year statistically, I'll be the happiest person in the world. I like Ronnie Price as a player. I like him as a person. I hope he does great. This is nothing against Ronnie Price. It's just Jeremy's potential is substantially greater than Ronnie Price's at this point in their careers. And that's just what it is, at least, again, based on the history. Patrick Beverley is not on the same level as Jeremy Lin as an offensive player, clearly. There are numbers that would say that he is better defensively, and there are numbers that show he fits well with the Houston Rockets, and he has a real positive effect for them. Beverley's effect is much greater than what Price's effect has been in Price's career. So I can understand an argument about Beverley versus Lin, although I would still favor Lin, just like ESPN just ranked Jeremy Lin number 100 of all players, and they ranked Patrick Beverley 103. That's probably about right in terms of comparative. They're close. Maybe one's a little ahead of the other. They're both good, and I like Patrick. But Jeremy's a better player than Ronnie Price is. Just heads up. I just want to say that. But I do understand Coach Scott may feel like he needs to bring him off the bench for now, at least until Nick Young and some of the other guys that can run the second unit are healthy. We'll see. If the team wins, I don't care what he does. Honestly, I just want the team to win. I love the way Julius Randle played in this game. I know there's a lot of Lin fans that won't agree with me about that. He did have, in particular, one really bad play where he took the ball, got the defensive rebound, drove up the court, did a spin move, had to pass it, and just passed it to nobody. And it was a turnover where he could have given the ball to Jeremy. But he is improving. His decision-making is getting better. His decisiveness is getting better. This kid has serious talent, and you can see it more and more every single game. This guy is going to be a special player once he figures it out. And I was much less concerned about how he was with Jeremy tonight than I was like in the first preseason game. He's adapting quickly. It's still not perfect, and he's still going to do his thing some. If he scores, I don't care. If he makes a good pass, I don't care. It's when he makes a bad play, that's when I care. So I love the way he played tonight. He had one play in particular where he started out on the left-hand side, kind of like top of the key extended, that semicircle on the top of the free throw line. He recognized the defense. He started dribbling towards the basket. He went into a post-up position with his back to the basket and to the defender. He drew a double team, and he kicked it out to Jordan Clarkson for a wide-open three. That was a fantastic play. Teams already fear him because of his combination of skills and his size and his athleticism. This guy's going to be really, really good. He's going to be a force in the NBA as long as he's healthy and he keeps his head on straight. I heard the progress that he's made in the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal. And remember, he's taken a bunch of criticism, and he's handled it well. Yes, he's not a perfect player yet, and yes, I would like it if he'd give the ball to Jeremy a little bit more on those defensive rebounds, but this guy's going to be a big part of what the Lakers do this year and in the years to come as long as he stays healthy. I love what he did tonight. Ed Davis, again, playing strong. I'm just so happy he's getting a chance to show what he can do on a team. He's never been considered that much, but you could see what his abilities are. 15 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. I didn't have any blocks tonight, but he played great, and he's still in excellent sync with Jeremy Lin, although they did miss on a lob dunk attempt, but he sets good picks. He's just quick to the basket. He's active. He's energetic. He is playing great. Those were the best three players tonight for the Lakers. Lin, Randall, Davis. As I mentioned, DeMarcus Cousins played himself a very good game. 21 points, 10 boards, 4 assists for the Kings. His nickname is Boogie, and he played on the United States team this summer that won the World Championship or the FIBA Championship or whatever it is. He's a heck of a player. He's got a reputation as can be moody, throw tantrums, whatever. He can play. He had a tremendous year last year, and he's just only getting better. So credit to him. I hope he does well. I like him a lot. Now, Ronnie Price, as I said, he banged knees with Darren Collison while Ronnie was taking a charge against Darren Collison in the first quarter. Had about 9 minutes left in the first quarter. He limped off. He went to the training room. He came back out with ice wrapped around his right knee. And they said that it's just a sore knee and that they'll look at him tomorrow. As I said, hopefully it's just a minor knee bruise that he can work through in a short period of time. For Lin fans, you know that Jeremy suffered an injury similar to this. I think it was last year when Paul Millsap of the Atlanta Hawks hit knees with Jeremy. Jeremy actually suffered a minor knee ligament sprain, like a minor tear. And it took him a while to kind of get over it. So I hope that there's no ligament damage for Ronnie Price. That would really be a shame for him and for the team. Wayne Ellington suffered an injury as well. He collided with Ben McLemore, I believe, of the Kings. Fourth quarter, I think. And they hit heads. And it was pretty intense collision. McLemore cut his eye or cut the skin above his eyebrow area, I believe, or the side of his face. He was bleeding profusely. And Ellington looked like he suffered a concussion based upon the way that he was acting after the collision. And he went down pretty hard. So we certainly hope the best for both Wayne and for Ronnie, and that they recover quickly, and just that they're healthy. So that was a scary injury. I really hope that he's okay. Bill Oram, I believe, of the Orange County Register, I think, reported earlier today that the Lakers are going to seek an injury exception for Steve Nash. What that basically means is if you have a player and they're going to miss a significant portion of the season, I think that's what the wording is. I'm sure there's a timetable, but I don't remember exactly what it is. But obviously Nash is going to be out for the entire year. You can fill the roster spot, and there's a certain amount of money allotted for the spot. I believe it is. I want to say that in this instance, maybe it's just it's just the standard exception. I want to say it's something like $5 million, somewhere between $3 and $5 million. I have to look into that more. I just read it quickly. Good. The Lakers need all the talent they can get. They need more players. They need another point guard right now. They only have 2, or 3 if you count Jordan Clarkson, but they need another player between point guard and shooting guard if they can get them, especially if they can get someone with some talent. So to look and see how that works out. Where's the team at? As I said, the team, even though I think they've gone 2-2 in these last 4 games, they're in a really good spot. They know they can compete now. They know that they've got chances to win. They know they're not going to get embarrassed the way that they got embarrassed in those first 3 games. And they know they're not fully healthy. So even without everybody playing, they can still hang with these teams. They're rediscovering Linsanity They're seeing Julius Randle grow. They're seeing Ed Davis and his ability. Kobe's looking good. This team can do some things. They can win some games. And I'm sure that they're feeling good. They have to be feeling confident. You remember that 3-game stretch where they got pounded by Golden State twice and by Utah. They looked demoralized, lost, confused, clueless. Now they look focused. They've got swag. They know they can win. They can compete. So I like where this team is at. I like it quite a bit. I'm very eager. And that's good because the regular season is only a few days away. Tonight is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days until October 28th at Staples Center against the Houston Rockets. That game is going to take place, as I said, Tuesday the 28th here in the United States, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time in the United States, which means it'll take place Wednesday, October 29th at 10:30 a.m. in the Philippines, in Taiwan, and in China. And it's here in the U.S., it's going to be on TNT television. It's Kobe versus Dwight. It's Lin's revenge against Houston. I can't wait. Look, Houston's going to be favored, I'm sure. And both teams want to win very badly. This was just like when these two teams met last year. When the Steve Blake hit the three-point shot to beat the Rockets at the buzzer. Both of these teams are going to want this game very bad. So hopefully the Lakers, I can tell you this, Kobe, Byron Scott, and Jeremy Lin are going to be very focused on this game. And they're going to let everybody else know, particularly Kobe, I want to win this game. I mean, he might not say that, but I'm sure he'll let that be known through his actions. Everybody knows he wants to win it. And so does Jeremy, even though he might not say it. So I expect you're going to see a lot of effort on Tuesday. And I think the team has a back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. So but they're going to put a lot of effort into that game. I hope they win, just like a whole bunch of Lin fans hope they win. And regardless of whether if Jeremy starts or not, I hope he starts. I don't want Ronnie to be hurt, but I'd love to see Jeremy start and go off in that game. Of course, Patrick Beverley will be there to take the challenge, and James Harden and Dwight Howard will be there looking to show how good they are at the start of the regular season as well. There's a perception that Houston's kind of fallen off a little bit because they lost Jeremy, they lost Chandler Parsons, they lost Omer Asik, they didn't get Chris Bosh, they didn't get any other major free agent. They did get Trevor Ariza, but they didn't get any major top-tier free agents. So both teams have a lot to prove, and they're going to be playing for a lot. So I can't wait, and I like where the Lakers are at mentally, except for the injuries, of course. We wish they were in a better place in terms of the injuries, but mentally, I think they're in a very good place, and I can't wait for that game. Okay, that is, I think, about it. This is a shorter video than the ones that I've been doing lately. There's particular things I could say. I would tell you right now, you definitely want to see the highlights of this game. I mean the complete highlights. And as most of you know, there's people I've been putting stuff in for full Laker highlights in the videos. There are a whole bunch of people doing the full Jeremy Lin highlights, or at least a couple of them. You definitely want to see the highlights from this game. So seek them out. Look up Lakers, look up Jeremy Lin YouTube, and find those things, because Jeremy looked great in this game. He looked great. He's ready. He's ramping up. Like I said, he is not at his best yet, but he's getting there. He's getting there. And I love the way that he looked tonight. I really don't have any criticisms. On Twitter, I criticized him for turnovers early, was a little bit lazy with the ball early. That went away quick. He tightened up, and he just went into basically in the Linsanity mode and a Mr. Fourth Quarter mode. This is good to see. He's going to have opportunities this year. Definitely is going to have opportunities. And we are very much looking forward to that as Lin fans and as Lakers fans. He's going to help the team quite a bit. I love the way he competed on defense. He made some excellent defensive plays. I mentioned the DeMarcus Cousins play. 2 sequences in a row, he prevented Sacramento fast break layups. He basically stopped them pretty much himself. And so, again, he can't play defense. It's nonsense, just like he can't go left, even though he had that incredible double-dip lefty layup, and I think he had another lefty layup in this game. He was attacking. He was aggressive. He was confident, and it's fantastic to see it. So, again, we will work to put highlights into the video description. There'll be one link at first, and I'll probably put another link in later. Go find the highlights as well. As I said, we will put information for the Conservative Media Facebook group, 3,500 members and counting. We encourage you to come and join that. Come and follow us on Twitter. I'll put in both of the Twitter accounts for us. CNM J-Lin Vids Twitter, which I'm going to use, which I use actually, and let me say that in a second, and also my personal account, PFV on the NBA. Let me get to, I almost forgot this, just like I did this in the last video. I almost forgot what I was going to say, the personal stuff. First, let me just say sorry to somebody, and I'm not going to mention who they are, but we just had a misunderstanding earlier today, Twitter, and they know who they are, and everything's totally cool. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just misunderstood, and that's you saw that aspect of me today, which I don't always kind of show to people, which is I try to be as nice as I can, but if I perceive something, I kind of have a limit with things, and then that'll be like a kind of, that's it. And then it's kind of like it clicks in for me. The side of me, it's kind of like that's enough. So, but I was wrong about that. I misinterpreted things. So again, I apologize for that. Everything's totally cool. Thanks for understanding that, and we're definitely on the same page. Again, I am going to be using the PFV on the NBA account more now. So what I'm going to do is the CNM J-Lin Vids account, which is the bigger account, the one that's the core one. I'm going to use that more for like hard news on the NBA. Just more kind of focused stuff. I'm not going to be retweeting and favoriting things as much. I'm not going to be responding as much on there. Just because there's a bunch of people that are following us, and I've told you before, there's people that have said to us, hey, you talk too much, blah, 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 blah. And these are people that are just interested in basketball discussion, but maybe they're not Lin fans. Maybe they're just not as talkative. They just want their little game stats, summaries, or whatever. That's fine. And that's why I made the other account. So for us Lin fans and the people that I know and that we all, the more of the kind of close-knit Jeremy Lin community, that's what I'm going to use the other account for. So I can retweet pictures like the great pictures that Ariette from Taiwan sends me. Just stuff like that that's not going to, I guess, be an issue for some of these other people. I think that's just a good compromise for me to be able to do it that way. So I've followed most of you guys from the PFV on the NBA account. If I'm not following you, just come follow me, and that's the best way to get to me. Probably that's the best way to find me on a day-to-day basis right now. And again, you'll find information for that in the video description below the video player. That's about it. This was a great game. It just didn't have the victory. It was just one little miss or make from being just a terrific story. But The team's ready. They're prepared, I think, now for the regular season as much as they can be, including 2 rookies and a bunch of new players on the team. They're ready now. They're ready to compete, not to go out and get blown apart as they did a couple of times. So I can't wait. I am very eager for the Houston game, but I'm glad there's a couple of days rest because the guys need it. So that is it for now. Again, I am Paul Filial, PFE, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Great talking with everybody on Twitter during the game. Had a lot of fun. This game was fun, just like the Phoenix game was fun and the Portland game was fun. This team's going to be, it's going to be fun to watch. And I do think they can surprise some people, but once again, they need to stay healthy as much as they can. They need to try to acquire another piece with Nash being out. Things need to break for them a little bit, but if they do, I do have a lot of my optimism restored. It's not going to be easy, but they're capable of it. They can hang in there with some of these teams. So I can't wait. Bring on Houston, and let's try to get that victory because we all want that one very badly, including Lakers fans who are mad that Dwight left and the way that he left. So that is it for now. It is 2 a.m. here on the East Coast of the United States on Saturday, October 25th, 2014, which means it's 11 p.m. on Friday, October 24th, 2014, and it's 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 25th in Taipei, Taiwan, Manila, the Philippines, and all throughout China, including Shanghai. Your comments below. What did you think? Did you like this game as much as I did? Are you excited like I am? Are you disappointed because of the loss? What do you think about the Houston game? How pumped up are you to try to get the victory over McHale, over Morey, over Dwight, over Beard, over P-Bev? I know everybody's eager for it, man. I know the LA fans are feeling the same way, so I can't wait. Okay, that is it for now. We'll see you in the comments. See you on Twitter. Take care. Wherever you are around the world, have a great day, great night when you watch this video. Talk to you soon.